Is this streaming? The whole live stream. Can you send the link to the? It's a live event is over. Live event is over. I cannot tell Mr. Good to actually. Once it ends, you can't. You have to start a different one again. That's the one thing about live stream. Hello everyone. Can you just can you comment on this? Can you comment? Hello everyone. Sure. Thank you all for staying tuned. Right. We encountered some little challenges. Right. Okay. So before we went before we had a challenge, there was a question posed by user. What are the CPU credits for? Right. The CPU credits, as you all know, they are professional credits. So let's say, imagine a career like a nurse or a midwife. They are supposed to actually enroll, they're supposed to actually always be up to date in their field, right? So you see that certain institutions have been accredited to actually maybe do certain 3 month course, sometimes even a week course, 1 month course, even sometimes even certain seminars or even webinars have CPE credits. So the main essence of CPE credits are making sure that the professional never loses in touch with the knowledge he has accrued. So that's the main purpose of CP credits. So CPU credits are mostly recognized by bodies and institutions. It is used by the bodies and institutions so that they actually know that, oh, my employee or my employee has not lost the knowledge he or she has accrued, right? So that's the essence of CP credits. So if you are seeing CP credits on DataCamp, it means, oh, maybe you're an already existing data analyst. You already know you're already working as a data analyst, a data scientist, a data engineer, or an AI engineer. And you'd like to actually prove to your bosses that, oh, nah, or even your bosses would request from you that we would like to know that, hey, since you became a data analyst for us, you've not lost an inch or a pound of the knowledge you first had. That's the essence of the CP credit. So it's meant for professionals to actually take these CP courses and the CP credits, so they know that, okay, yeah, you still remember certain things, you still know certain things, or there's an update in the field. You now know the update in the field. So work with it. Yeah. So that's the main essence and effort about, and main thing about CP credits. It is meant for professionals who are already working, right? Sometimes requested by their boss, or sometimes they do it voluntarily. So that's the main essence of CP credits. I would say that. Hello, can you all hear me? Hello, can you all hear me? Hello, can you all hear me now? Is my voice clear? I would like to get a response from. Okay, sure. I'll assume everything is clear, right? So so like we said earlier, CP credits are meant for professionals who are already working to actually enroll in those courses, to actually prove something to their boss or to themselves that, oh, they've not lost a pinch or an ounce of the knowledge they first had when they started their profession, right? So the next question is from Eugene Akofi. Eugene is asking, do you have to write a test after you are done with the certification courses? Eugene, I have some surprise for you. Data comes certification courses, eh? They are one of the most difficult certification courses. If you actually get in touch with me, I can actually show you some of the things I had to go through with the data camp certification courses. I first started with the data analyst certification, right? I failed like 3 times before getting my first data analyst certification. Unlike you, I failed like 3 times before getting the data analyst certification. The data, the data camp scholarships are not easy at all, right? The data camp scholarship, they are not easy at all. They are one of the most difficult scholarship you would actually. The data camp certification courses. They are not easy at all. They are one of the most difficult certification you can actually encounter. Do you know the reason why? First, you have to write two written tests. One on coding, like the manual coding. Let's say you are trying to get the data analyst in Python certification. You write two written tests. One on data analysis itself, like the whether you know the job. So the data analytical workflow, the things you do for a data as a data analyst. Do you have to write a first written test about it? Then you move on to the second written test. That's like a coding test where you code your skills about. They will test your skills about Python. Can you actually code well in Python? Then you go to the project test. With the project, you write a code and do everything. After writing the code, the visualization, making the project, then you submit. And within 30 days, a professional data analyst or a senior data analyst from DataCamp will review your code submission and your project submission to actually see that did you do everything right. You see how difficult it is. Two written tests and a project. That doesn't go through just AIO. It would go through a data analyst, a senior data analyst, to actually review and verify your project. And I think, yeah, when I was starting my data analysis certification, right, I failed twice. Sorry, 3 times, right? The first two failures, it was around. I think I had some failures in the written test, and I came back and started again. Yeah. After the written test failures, it was then the project test, and that's where I stressed most. The project test alone, I failed like 3 times, like I said earlier, because I made a mistake making a single calculation with the code. I think it was the age, yeah, it was the age column, and I made a single mistake. And I won't lie to you, because of that single column, I had to do the project 3 times. And in all the projects, you don't just do the project, just write the code and submit to. After doing the project, you make an equivalent 10-minute video explaining the insights in a presentation format with the code. After writing the code, after writing two tests, a code and a project, doing everything. Then you now come and design presentation slides for your project, the one you did, right? Design presentation slides for your project. After design the presentation slide, then you record and present, like how I'm streaming to you, right? I'll record a 10 minutes video of myself. Hello, this said, as my name is Fadlal Hassan, a data analyst, and this is what I did with the data sets. Then they will give you a project scenario, right? Then you actually work on it. So imagine what the hurdles you have to go through. And the senior data analyst, like I said earlier from DataCamp, will review your code and your presentation. So imagine it. And they will grade you on everything. DataCamp certification is one of the most rigorous ones, and I'm telling you. Once you pass it, I'm telling you, you can see yourself as a certified data analyst. So the test there, you write it, Papa. You write like two tests. After that, you do a project. After doing the project, you also make a presentation. So imagine that. So just brace up. Yeah, it's not easy as a digital camp scholar, right? But it's worth it. Like I said, like it's worth it. The benefits actually match up to it, so it's worth it. So let's go to the next question. Would you explain about the professional certificate in detail? What is the detailed requirement and how should we prepare? Additionally, what is the impact factor of the certificate? Okay, so there are professional certifications in data camp for data analysts, data scientists, data engineers. There's even machine learning scientists and others, right? Yeah. The, as for the detailed requirements, each of these certifications have their own requirements. If you are becoming a data analyst, there are things they will test you on. And even the specific data analyst we are in, which tool are you using? Are you trying to get a data analyst in R or Python certification? They all have their different tests, right? So the certifications, the professional certifications, they all have their different requirements, different strategies. You can go to the certification tab, right? Go to the certification tab and check all of these requirements. So let me show you an example. So for instance, okay, sure. So for instance, I want to show you an example of how the certification requirements look like here. Let me show you. Okay, so over here you can see my certification page, right? Certification tab. So let me show you guys one thing. Let me show you guys something. So over here is my certification page. If I want to get any career certification, and here's what I do. I simply come to the career side, right? Then click on it. Then I'll go to maybe data engineer. Let's check data engineer out. So I've clicked on a data engineer, right? Data engineer. Now let's see what pops up. With the data engineer, I can see the requirements here. As you can see, topics cover data management and exploratory analysis. Data engineer associate certification. The associate certifications are different and the main certifications are also different. The associate certifications are much more easier than the professional certifications, right? So let's go through the requirements. You can see the associate certificate, they said skill level, beginner, time to complete 30 days, and it's a shareable certification. And they said what you gain. Use PostgreSQL to manipulate, validate, and clean data. Explain the design schema of a database and how tables are connected. Create, read, and analyze visualizations. That's for data engineer. And you can see all the processes involved, right? Prepare with data camp. They will do some. You can prepare for these certifications themselves. These are kind of, you see, they are one of their most generous aspects. Before you even take the certification, you can go to the process, as you can see. When you go to the process, you can even prepare before the certifications by showing by following the guide they've given you, right? But when you come here, register for certification. You can see how to register for the certification where you simply click here. Then now the last two parts shows what would actually take for you to actually get that certification. So as you can see, there's a timed exam on number 3 and there's a practical exam on number 4. So let's go to the timed exam. The time exam, you can see all of everything they will ask you about here. The time exam assess your proficiency in data management theory, data management in SQL, and data and exploratory analysis theory. To successfully pass this exam, you should be able to interpret a database schema and explain database design concepts such as normalization, design, schema, storage options. A lot, you see. And this all for the certifications, like I said earlier. This all for the certifications. So if you actually want to get a certification now, simply locate the certification tab on the top of the DataCamp platform. Go to the certification, pick any certification you want, like let's say data analyst. Then go through what are the requirements needed for you to actually become a data analyst. As you can see, here, associate certification. And there's even the professional certifications, right? When you are done with the associate certification, and that's when data camp will open the path for for professional certifications for you. Or you can even simply come here, switch to professional certification. As you can see, data analyst certification, these are created by DataCamp by switching to the professional. You see, as you can see here. And these are also the things involved in becoming a data analyst professional. These are some, as and when you scroll down, you can even see this, some of the testimonies. Someone said, I accepted an offer from my dream data analyst job and I'm officially starting this week. Data camp certifications, along with their projects, were key factors in helping me find success. So like I said earlier, if you want to enroll in a certification, simply come to that certification. Let's say data analyst. As you can see, data analyst. When you first go there, you will see the associate certification. The associate, like I said earlier, is much more easier and maybe it's recommended for you to start with. But if you think you are a boss, you can switch to the data analyst, where you see the data analyst certification. And you can see all the topics covered: data communication, business acumen, exploratory analysis, statistical experimentation, data management. And when you come down, you can actually see the process involved, where data camp would even give you a guide for preparing for the certification, right? It takes 30 days for you to actually complete the certification. So if you can see, there's not much time, or there is much time if you're a boss. So that's it. Now I want to show you the question the guy gave was in two parts. So I want to show you the testimony so that you can actually see for yourself the truth in the world. Nobody will be trying to actually give you anything wrong for you here. Now we are trying to give you the right thing, the real thing, the painful syrup or the bitter syrup. Sorry. So you can see. Let me take you through the testimonial. I accepted an offer for my dream data analyst job, and I'm officially starting this week. Data camp certification, along with their projects, were key factors in helping me find success. As you can see, here, data camp certification, that's the key word here, along with their projects. Data camp certification, along with their projects, were key factors in helping me find success. Now, certifications are very, very good, very, very important. Amazon certification, IBM certification, DataCamp certification, they are all very, very good and most recognized by industries and professionals who have actually tasted before. But nowadays, people don't move with certifications alone. Why? People have lost trust in certifications, right? Because almost every organization, every institution offer certifications. Right now, what they want to see is actually you solving the problem, you doing the right thing. So let's say you have a data analyst certification, right? Don't pause there. What was the project you had to build to get that certification? Me personally, when I was getting my data scientist certification, I had to build a model for a restaurant food service provider to actually predict their food that they would actually serve on their menu or website so that they don't lose traffic, right? And that was my model. And that was my project. That speaks for me more. The certification provides a platform, right? But that project is your flag for everybody to see you, as you know. So, like I said earlier, the certifications are good though, but they are not everything. They are not all. Certifications are good, but they are not all. What really matters is the project. If a recruiter actually scrolls onto your profile, sees that you are now a certified data analyst, they'll be like, okay, that's nice. This guy has done well. But if the same recruiter scrolls through your profile and sees that, okay, you made a recent post about a project you did, and that project, what did you do? Maybe you scraped thousands of websites to gather data. After gathering the data, you analyzed it
After analyzing, here were your key findings. That directly communicates and tells that recruiter that, oh, now this person right here that I'm seeing actually don't just have the certification, but the certification is in them. And you can see that there's from this, you can actually see that, oh, they actually know what they are doing. Because with that project, you actually shown that, oh, you're able to solve a real world problem. The certification is a bragging right of yours. Down there is a fact. It's a bragging right of yours. But what shows and what impresses most the recruiter is the problem you've solved. Like I said, the problem you've solved. And the most easiest and the best way to actually so that you solve problems is through projects, right? So don't just go through the certifications alone. Our advice, go through projects. When I was first learning as a data analyst and when I was trying to become a data analyst and a data scientist, one of the main things I did was do the projects every week, every week. Anytime I learned something small, I would go to the project section on DataCamp and practice assessment. And that's the best way I learned. Like I said, and as you all know, the best way to learn is by doing in the tech environment. The best way to learn is by doing. So don't just get the certifications alone, right? But also try and build mini projects. Projects solving real world problems. Projects showing that you can actually communicate. Projects showing that you add value to a company. And when you have those projects along with the certifications, sir, you become the best of the best. But what if you have the certifications alone, you have the bragging rights, but you cannot impress the recruiter. But once you have the project and the certifications, you have the bragging rights and you can also impress the recruiter. And that's the facts, right? So let's move on to the next question. Okay, sure. So the next question. I have issues with practicing the project. Alfred, I would say that also reach out to me personally, right? The project is under the scholarship and it's fully covered by the scholarship. So if you are facing issue, it's very, very difficult for me to sit in here to actually know the specific type of issue you are facing. So what I would say is that reach out to me personally with an email explaining the problem with attachment so that I can actually help you solve this problem, right? Okay. I have another question from Peter. Peter said is asking, what kept you consistent despite sometimes feeling to quit or when losing track? Especially, I have a challenge coding. When I sometimes stay without coding now. Peter, you did not finish the sentence, so but I can complete it for you. When you sometimes stay without coding, the moment you come back now, it's as if you've not learned anything. That's very, very true, right? You're not the only one experiencing this. It's actually something that's in the tech field. Data analysts, data engineers, even software engineers, AI engineers, they all face this problem. You cannot it's very, very difficult to actually know everything of it, the code. Nah, it's very, very difficult. That's why there's documentations and everything, right? That's why there's documentations and everything, right? Consistency, on the other hand, is something that you learn, right? Something that you intentionally learn. When I was trying to become a data analyst and a data scientist, what I did was every day I learn. Every day I learn. Even if it's a single thing, I learn, right? A single video, a single second, a single minute, I will learn. Mostly this was my structure. I had a timetable, right? And I started learning data analysis long ago. But then when I became serious in some particular 3 months, and those were my role goals. So in that serious 3 months, what I did was set up a timetable for myself, right? A timetable. I wake up at 5, pray. At 8, take breakfast. At 9, sit on the laptop to 10. At 10, take some break. At 11, come and sit on the laptop to 12. Take some break. Continue from 1. Exactly. Discipline, right? Discipline moves hand in hand with consistency. If you are trying to learn coding now, that's what I'll say. Discipline. Pick a specific time, and one of the most easiest way to do that is actually pick a specific time in the day. Maybe maybe before dawn, after dawn, before you go to class, after you come back from class, before you go to bed. Pick a specific time where you learn by force. You just force yourself to learn because, like I said, consistency is very, very important when you're trying to become a data professional, especially with the coding aspect. Yeah, coding does not mostly stick. That's why there's documentation. But you actually know how to type, know how to code, know how to understand the code. So the consistency there, Peter, you have to learn it yourself, right? Discipline is a one key aspect in the consistency. Like I said earlier, in those 3 months where I experienced real growth when I was learning data analysis and data science, what I did was I set a timetable for myself. Between the hours of this to that, hours of this to that, I will learn data by force, even when I was tired. Actually, open the laptop and do something, and that helped me, right? So you can, there's a simple roadmap, right? Every week, try and complete some modules. Every week, make it a target that, oh, I'll complete some modules, one project, one assessment. And I'm telling you, you might not be seeing the progress within the week, oh, but after a month, 2 months, 3 months, you'll actually see the real progress, right? And that's it, Peter. It's not that difficult to, it just requires discipline, right? Thank you. So somebody just asked, sometimes some courses ask me to have credits and it stopped my progression. I think this was addressed, not cover, is the AI native learning format that we said earlier. Why? Why so? This is because we said the AI native learning format is a new experience introduced by DataCamp, and it's done in collaboration with large language models. So DataCamp, as you all know, with the AI native format, is connecting to large language models, socially personalized and tailor your learning for you. And we said the main difference between the AI native format and the classic format is that the AI native formats are more streamlined, but the classic format, they are more dense, contains more content, and are much more helpful to you. And that's what I recommend to you as a data analyst, right? But the AI native formats, they are very short, streamlined, and they require this record credits. Why? Because AI is expensive, right? The computing cost, server cost, running cost, even employee cost, those who build the models, aside from the data center cost. So imagine all these costs combined. The large language models, they consume a lot of money. A single prompt to ChatGPT, you don't know. A simple prompt hello to ChatGPT, it actually costs a lot of money, right? That's why AI is expensive. That's why DataCamp has not included it in the scholarship, because they are sharing the money with ChatGPT. DataCamp use the ChatGPT models as provider models, right? So the reason why the AI native format is not completely covered under the scholarship is because AI is simply expensive, right? And DataCamp cannot afford to actually handle this cost alone. That's why the AI native formats are paid. But like I said, if you're under this scholarship, enroll in the classic formats. The classic formats are much more better to you as somebody who's trying to break into the data field, to try and enroll into the classic formats, right? And I'm telling you, it's worth the hard work. You learn more under the classic format though, but I'm telling you, it's worth the hard work, it's worth the effort to try and do the classic formats, right? Don't really focus much on the AI native. You can use it for maybe reminders and everything, but don't use it. Use the classic format, right? And your scholarship covers the classic format. So I assume so there's no problem with this, right? So now let's go to the next question from Peter. Peter is asking me, would you recommend R or Python? I would say it depends, right? It depends on the field you are in. Let's say, Peter, you'd like to work in the financial industry, banks, insurance companies. I would say go with Python. But let's say, Peter, you'd like to work in academia, research, health, biology, biotech, then I would say go with R. All of them have their strength and where they do well most. R is like open source and free worldwide and mostly used by the academic and health research and biology research community. Whilst Python is much more versatile and is mostly used in almost every place you can find yourself. You see Python. So let's say you're into quant finance, the financial industry, then I'll say go into Python, right? If you have if you are Peter, if you want to be a data analyst in the financial industry, I'll say go with Python. But if you'd also like to actually be a data analyst in health or academia, then go with R. All of them have their strength, like I said. R is purposely tailored for academia and research. That's health research, biology research, biotech research, pharmaceutical research. Whilst Python is much more effective and much more versatile. So even in health research, right, you will see Python there. But Python does different stuff. Like what? Like building intense health models, predictive models for breast cancers and everything. intense diagnostic model. That's where Python does well most. Yeah. So I would say it depends most. It depends more on you. But if you can afford to learn both R and Python, I recommend, right? Because me personally, I've actually learned both R and Python, right? But here in the case, if you actually have a limited time and you actually want to streamline your experience, then I would say maybe choose one between R or Python, which one more fit your background. And this is a much more personal question. So I would ask a simple question, Peter. You'd like to work in the financial industry or the health or academia industry? Depending on your answer, then go with R or Python. That's simple as that. If you think you need more clarification, you can simply comment the industry where you'd like to work, and I'll actually suggest the two which will best fit for you, whether R or Python. Yeah. So let's move on to the next question. Somebody asked, "Hello, are we supposed to complete the side assignment shared by the admins, or should we stick to the specific course registered for?" I would say stick with the specific courses you registered for. Most of the sometimes I assign these assignments, right, and I've most like tailored the assignment in such a way that it doesn't derail you off track. So I think you can see some of my most recent assignments are the XP assignments and the analytical fundamental assignments that I give you. Whether you're a data engineer, data scientist, AI engineer, data analyst, those assignments won't derail you off track. Yeah, it's just a way to actually the assignments are that we send out via emails. They are just a way for us to actually improve the learning, improve the participation. There are some of us who have actually, after getting the DataCamp Scholarship, right, has thrown it away somewhere and is doing different things. That's not nice. That's why we actually send out these assignments as reminder that, hey, Mr. A, Mr. B, Miss A, Miss B, your scholarship still exists. So try and do as much as possible to actually complete these assignments. But if here in the case you actually enrolled in your own track, right? You actually have your own track you are doing, like DS track, data science track, and you think the assignments will bother you, then I would say then you can skip the assignments and stay on your track. But if you are not enrolled in a track out, then I'll say just take the assignments, like I said earlier. And from Monday, I would be sending I would be sending some invitation link for the teams for you, right? So that you actually join the teams. And now, and with the teams, I'll be sending personalized assignments. So I won't be sending generic assignments anymore now. The generic assignments will end today. From now henceforth, from now going, we will only be sending personalized assignments. So I would say if you think the assignments will derail you, then you can skip it. But most of the times, the assignments won't derail you, right? Why? Because I personally tailor the assignment so that it should like to actually ginger the learning, remind you, and keep you on track, right? So, faith, I would say that the assignment is not meant to derail you. You can actually just go into it, right? And even as a reminder, thank you for reminding me, Faith. I have a surprise for the data scientist learners, right? I have another surprise for you. Those said doing the data science format, I have some surprise gifts for you. That will come maybe next month, right? I'll try and test how long or how well you've actually studied data science. If you guys have actually done well with the data science course, I'll give you guys another surprise. Be happy for it, right? It's very, very nice. So it's a very, very nice surprise and it's a very, very nice gift. Let's move on to the next question, right? Someone is asking, how many courses do you need to finish before the certification? There is no obligatory number of courses that you have to do before you complete, before you search a certification, right? They've made it such that, oh, they've made it such that they've made it such that, right? You don't, they've made it such that the certifications have become easy for all. Why am I saying that? Because there are others who will actually do a bit of learning before getting to the DataCamp scholarship. So because of that, you see that okay, yeah, they will go through the DataCamp all right, but they already know most of the things that the courses are already teaching. So such people like that, they can skip certain courses, do certain courses, and jump straight into the certifications because they think yeah they are boss and they've actually studied. And such people won't need to actually do all the courses. But like you and me, that have to actually study everything from fresh, from start. Then I would say Every certification has a complementary track to it, right? I can show you. Every certification has a complementary track. Let me show you this example. So let's say I want to be a data analyst, right? A data analyst. I want to take the data analyst professional certification now. When I come to the learn page and I search, when I come to the learn page, right, and I search data analyst, when I search data analyst, right, then I click on, let's say, Python only, and I click on track, I can actually see data analyst in Python track, 36 hours. Exactly. Where I can actually enroll in the track. I've already completed data analyst track. That's why I can see 98% here. And as you can, as I said earlier, I skipped certain courses because I already knew most of the things that they were about to teach. Like intermediate Python, I skipped that course, right? But I did everything. I did the rest. Or let me show you guys an alternative way. If you come to the learn sidebar, as you can see, hope you can see, right? Learn. Then you go to tracks. Then you go to career tracks. Remember, career tracks. If you are trying to pursue a certification now, go with the career track. If you are trying to pursue a certification now, go with the career track. The skill tracks are meant for maybe completing certain gaps. As you can see, I skipped some of my courses. So let's say if I want to say that, okay, I want to actually do this course again, and that's when I'll go to the skill track. But if I'm here and I say that I want to become a data analyst, I have to go to the career tracks. After going to the career tracks, I can see everything here. All data analyst, BI analyst, data engineer, data scientist, ML engineer, AI engineer, developer, statistician. So I can simply click on data analyst. Then as you can see here, the career track, what the title of the career track? 0 to job ready. 0 to job ready. So when you enroll in any career tracker, you can specifically enroll in that certification. So if you want to start certification but you don't know anything now, enroll in that career track for that certification. Every certification has their own career track, right? Every certification has their own complementary career track. And those are the courses you need to take before you get the certification. So let's say if you want to attempt the data scientist certification, I would say simply go here, come to data scientist, right? Click on the data scientist. When you click on the data scientist, then you can enroll in maybe data scientist in Python track. Click on view details and enroll in track. As you can see, data scientist in Python, enroll in that track. Exactly, as simple as that. And that's how you can prepare yourself very well for the certifications. The career tracks go hand in hand with the certification, right? When you are done with the career tracks, then you attend the certifications. So those are the the recommended courses for doing the certifications, right? So I think you have your answer now. If you want to attempt the certification now, go to the complementary career track for that certification, right? I think Peter asked a follow-up question. Which would you recommend, R or Python? Mainly in the field of humanitarian organizations such as NGOs or research. Peter, I'm very sorry, but this is still broad, right? Because let me give you an example. There is an NGO, right? But you know them, Bill and Melinda Gates NGO, right? Bill and Melinda Gates. They can employ you to do several things. They can employ you to actually be a data analyst, working with malaria data analyst, right? Working with malaria samples, mosquito vectors, plasmodium species, varieties of them. And at that point, you might be needing R or Python. Exactly, might be needing R or Python. It's not clear yet. However, they can also give you a task which can be more specific, well, more tied to Python. So I'll say the humanitarian and NGOs, it's still broad because assume a social NGO too, like let's say Kumasi Hive. Kumasi Hive is like a social and a tech NGO. With Kumasi Hive, you might also be needing Python. So we're giving an example of two NGOs, right? They all do different things. But I would say the truth is that most NGOs that you find, they will need Python most, right? They will need Python most. Like I said, Python is very, very versatile. With Python, you can do almost anything. Python is very, very versatile, and with Python, you can do almost anything. So, in the field of humanitarian NGOs and research, I would say, be more specific, much more specific. Is the NGO that you are going to mainly concerned about health, biotech? If that NGO is if that NGO that you are trying to head into, their main concern is health, then I would say do some R and also have some knowledge about Python, right? Like I said, Python is very, very versatile. But let's say the NGO is much more of like a tech NGO, social NGO, then you can actually go straight to Python. Python is very, very versatile, right? Python also has a lot of functions. Even with Python, you can be working on genomic data sets, economic data sets. So let's say your NGO works in health or biotech, you can be working with genomic data sets. With Python, your NGO works, let's say, around 4 countries like MasterCard, you can be using Python. And with Python, you can actually do correct financial analysis with with Python. Like you have Python, a lot of Python functions that you can actually do correct financial analysis. And if you have in advanced libraries in Python that you can actually do this financial analysis. So I would say that it depends on the specific NGO like that you're trying to head into. But I would recommend Python because Python is much more versatile. But if your NGO is in research about health specifically, then I would say go with R, right? Don't spend too much time on the Python, go with R. But Python is much more versatile and recommended, right? So there is a question from Imran Salisu. Imran is asking us, how many months remain for us? I got a scholarship last month. I would say you have approximately the scholarship lasts for a year, though. Yeah. But since most of you couldn't activate your scholarship early and even enroll in your scholarship early, right? You have about 9 months left. So you spent about 3 years out of the 1 year. 3 months, sorry, you spent about 3 months out of the 1 year. So you have about 9 to 8 months left, right? The scholarship will expire somewhere around May, either March or February. So you have about 9 to 8 months left. And they are enough. 9 to 8 months left is enough, yeah, right? It's enough. What I would say is focus much more on the learning because with the scholarship, you can simply request for more extension and everything. So you simply focus much more on the learning, yeah. So I think that's the question for Imran Salisu. I would say, is there any more questions for us in this session? Any more questions? If you have any question, I would say just bring it up in this session, right? And this is the best time to actually bring your question up. If you send me a text or an email, there might be some delays, but if you bring it here, I can address it up as quick as possible. So if you're watching this session, try and bring your question here, right? Try and bring your question here, and I'll try my best as possible to actually answer it. Someone just asked, if someone is following the data science track, right, and still interested in learning SQL, would you recommend someone to learn both concurrently or finish the data science track? Okay, to answer your question perfectly, let me go through the data science track, career track, so that you actually know the things involved in the data science career track and what you know to know. So now let me take you guys to the data science career track. So the data scientist career track, right? The data science career track. The data science the data science in career track has 11 courses and projects. 11 courses and projects. When you go through the courses, you can see, oh, they already have SQL in the courses, right? The courses you take to get a data science to complete the full courses you will take in the data science in Python track already has SQL. So what does it tell you? DataCamp has already arranged everything for you nicely. So I would say, right, first is that don't you don't really have to switch per se. You don't really have to do the switch, right? Because when you follow the data science track, you'll surely encounter SQL and you have to learn SQL. If you're interested in learning SQL now, I would say that yeah, sometimes when learning there is the need for you to actually switch paces and keep up with it's the ones you are more motivated to learn. So I would say you can then jump, this don't switch the track, right? The same track, but jump to the SQL. Once you are done with the SQL, once you are done with the SQL, then you continue the other tracks, right? Because you don't just work with SQL alone. Even as a data scientist or a data analyst, you don't work with SQL alone. And even as a data engineer, you don't work with SQL alone. SQL needs some Python, either Python or some Excel, right? Or some Power BI or some Tableau. So you don't work with SQL alone, right? So if you are interested in learning SQL right now, I'll say simply jump the data science track, right? Simply just jump to the specific track you want, like sorry, the specific SQL course you want, and just do that SQL course. After completing the SQL course, then you do the other courses, like I said, because you can't work with SQL alone. It's very, very much important that you actually solve the other things. But your motivation learning is also important, so you can simply jump to the SQL track, finish the SQL courses in the same data science track, right? Don't leave the data science track. We just stay on the data science track, right? But just jump to SQL. Then after finishing with the SQL and having the motivation, and take the other courses as well, right? To actually improve the learning. So that's what I recommend, right? You can stay in the same data science track. You don't need to change anything. Somebody asks, is there an orderly manner which I'm to take the data engineering course? Can I have the order which I show in a PDF to pace myself throughout the course, right? Okay, school support GH, I would say that okay, maybe you are not in the WhatsApp groups yet, because if you're in the WhatsApp group, you can actually see that the learners, most of the learners actually made PDFs themselves about data engineering for the data engineering group, right? They have the data engineering open theater, and you can see that most of the students they are advising them on their career on the course and the tracks and the career they should take. But if you want an orderly manner for you to take the data engineering course, I would say simply go to the career track, right? And just enroll in the career track. The career track has been professionally designed by senior lecturers, so not just any people, senior lecturers, tutors, senior professionals, and even those who have actually worked as data engineers, data analysts, data scientists before. They brought all of those people together to design those career tracks. So if you want to start with the data engineering, I would say simply log into the data camp, go to the track section, the learn page, the tracks, career tracks, then simply select data engineering in Python career track or data engineering in SQL career track. Then follow the track script to script, right? When you follow the track script to script, it already provides an orderly manner. So by the time you are done with the tracker, you already know what to do. The career tracks are not easy down there, it's very, very true. It's very difficult to complete the career track here, but like I said, there's nothing easy in this world, and every effort you make is worth it, right? So I would say the orderly manner you are searching for is already on DataCamp. Simply go to the learn page, search for data engineering, maybe in Python or SQL. Go to the career track. Specifically, like I said, the keyword here is the career track. Go to the career track and select and enroll in that track. You already have everything to do, right? So that's just it. So somebody asks, sir, please, I'm starting out. I want to become an AI system engineer. I know some basic Python, SQL. Where should I start from? AI systems engineer. Okay. In the previous webinar we held, right, we talked about the detailed requirements for each role. So let's say if I'm to become a data analyst, what are the things I have to do? If I'm to become a data scientist, what are the things I have to do? If I'm to become a data engineer, what are the things I have to do? If I'm to become an AI engineer, what are the things you have to do? And in the same webinar, we said that AI systems engineer is one of the most difficult aspects in not for beginners, right? It's for those who are already in the data field, like data scientists, data engineers, who think, oh, I've spent some time as a data engineer. Let me learn more. When you learn more, it leads you to the AI systems engineer. So I would say you want to become an AI systems engineer, right? There are things that's involved in becoming an AI systems engineer. Machine learning is involved. You have to know some bits about machine learning. You also have to learn some bits about data engineering. You also have to know a bit about even analysis, the analytical workflow. So I would say you can reach out to me personally if you want a track. I can support you with that. Yeah, but you can start from maybe machine learning as an AI systems engineer, right? Start with the machine learning. But I'll recommend how that best. Personally, reach out to me via my email, right? I know most of you have access to my email. Reach out to me via my email that, oh, I would like a specific work career track I would have to follow because I want to become an AI systems engineer. And I'll actually give you some streamlined, some selected or some scoped career tracks for you to actually enroll. Becoming an AI systems engineer is not easy, right? Like I said, it's very, very difficult. It's the pinnacle of the data profession, right? It's the pinnacle. And when you become and it's for those who already know data analysis, data science, data engineering. So you don't just so it's not something that's easy. That's what I'm saying. Reach out to me specifically for a detailed track. But with the time being, you can start with machine learning in Python, right? As an AI systems engineer, I would recommend start with machine learning in Python. Either machine learning engineer or machine learning scientist. But I would recommend the machine learning engineering. So if you are listening to me out that base, I would say start with the machine learning engineering in Python, right? And go there. But you can reach out to me via email for a personalized career track because being an AI systems engineer carries much work. It's not very, very easy. It carries much work, right? So you do a lot of learning. I have a question. There's a suggestion from Iremia Gabriel. Iremia is saying, I think this Q&A session is very, very important. But how frequent will it be held? Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah, it's very, very important, right? But like I said earlier, we are occupied by a lot of things. We have training sessions and everything. It's very, very important though. But if you like the Q&A sessions to be held up, we are planning to have these sessions mostly at least once every month. But like I said, there's a lot that goes into this session, logistics and everything. So you see, it's not that it's not it takes some time on our to actually organize these sessions. So that's why you might not be able to see this frequently. But like anytime you have a genuine concern, genuine problem, and you can voice it to us and you can actually bring it to attention. However, the Q&A session, we'll try as much as possible to actually host this maybe once a month, if not anything, at least once a month. And also expect your participation, right? Your participation encourages us to actually host this Q&A session. If we host this Q&A session and we see very, very few numbers joining now, it discourages us. But once we see host this Q&A session, we see that, oh, there are large numbers. People are actually much more interested in this Q&A session. They are joining. They are asking questions. They are providing feedback, sir. It encourages us to actually host these Q&A sessions, right? So in me, I would say it depends on you and it also depends on us. It takes some logistic from us too. Yeah, right. But it also takes some eagerness from you also. But as best, we'll try and we'll be hosting these Q&A sessions at least once a month, right? So thank you for the suggestion. We also need something from you, your encouragement, your support. That's your eagerness to learn. So anytime you hear about this Q&A session, try and join as much as possible. Once we see the increased numbers, we'll join. We'll try and make this session possible or make this session as frequent as possible. Yeah. So I have these questions that I also like to attend to. Sorry, I had to switch my account from at school support GH. Are there an orderly number managed for which I'm taking the data engineering course? Can I have the order which I should follow in the PDF, right? So I would say reach out to me personally, right? And I also add you to the date. Reach out to me personally, right? Addressing this via my email. That's Daniela Vanyeyu. Reach out to me personally via my email, and I'll provide you with a PDF for you to follow, as well as the data engineering group for you to join. Because I can see that you're not in the data engineering WhatsApp group. If you were there, you'd see that we've already shared these materials, right, for the students. So that's it. So I finished data scientist track. Can I enroll in data engineering? You can enroll in the data engineering track. It's very, very important. The more you learn, the more valuable you become, right? That's the truth. The more you learn, the more valuable you become. So if you are done with data science, you can enroll in the data engineering track. And I'm telling you, it's worth it. Can I combine BI analysis and data analysis? Power BI for data visualization. Oh yeah. Peter, I would say it's very good. You can combine them. Power BI is very powerful, and I think it's in high demand nowadays. Most people are even switching from Power BI to Power BI. Power BI is in much demand, so I would say combine them. Yeah, combine them. Power BI is very much in much demand, and if you have it as part of your skill set, it will really help you a lot. Open Notebook just voiced the concern. I am having an issue submitting my live project. The code runs fine, but the platform won't let me submit. Okay, I would say that I'm not, like I said, this is also a question that I don't really have much resources that attach me to actually help you. So this with this question too, I'll say send a message through my email, right? Send a message to my email addressing this and including certain proofs of attachments. When I see those attachments, I can be able to help you as much as I can. But right now, I don't have the much context to actually assist you. So I would say open notebook one. Try and send me an email, right? So that I can actually help you. Thank you all for your questions, right? And before we move on to the next thing, we said we will try and answer a question and also guide you to making the next step forward, right? Before we move on to making the next step forward, I'll say, is there any final question that you guys would actually like us to answer before we move on to making the next step forward as a data analyst or a data science professional? Hello, is there any question? Final question before we move on to making the next step forward. That's the final session, and so that we end the session today. Making the next step forward, right? Making the next step forward. Thank you for the education, right? Thank you for joining, right? So let's move on to the next part about this session, making the next step forward. So I'd like to say, I'm very much happy that most of you are utilizing your DataCamp scholarships very well. It makes me happy to see the efforts that you are putting into the learning. And with that, too, I'm very happy, right? I'm very happy. So right now, I would like to tell you guys something. I like to say to you guys about making the next step forward, right? So if you are here and you are currently watching me, I would say keep up with the learning. The learning is never easy, right? It takes effort, months of effort, dedication, consistency, seriousness for you to actually get to your goals. And like I personally give you an example. When I started learning data analysis, it took me it took me a lot of effort. For about a whole year, I had not made any progress. Unlike you, I was first trying to learn genomic data analysis, right? And for about a whole year, I never made a progress till I started speaking out with my friends who were till I started speaking out with like my seniors or my friends there, but they are also my seniors, though, right? So the best way to address them is my seniors, yeah. So I started speaking out with my seniors about the struggles I was facing, what's needed to be done, and they recommended certain things for me, and that really helped me a lot, right? So in learning, I would say keep up with the DataCamp scholarship, right? We've worked as much as possible to actually provide you with some certain free platforms that you never find anywhere. One, the DataCamp scholarship, a very free and generous gift that we've provided to you. Two, the data leadership network platform. Now you can ask any question. Where would you get that advantage from? Asking somebody question, the person willingly helping you, solving it for you, gracing you with suitable answers to actually guide you. And those are some of the benefits that we've actually provided for you. And that's because of the things you actually that's because we actually know that it takes a lot for you to become a digital professional, right? And that's why we provided these things to you. Like I said earlier, I was once a learner like you all, and I know the challenges I faced when I was trying to become a data analyst. And that's why I've through my and that's why I've collaborated with Kumasi to actually introduce a new series for you guys. That's the data engineering series. It's something that we do often, but we are introducing a twist into this new session, right? So I would like to introduce also the data journey series, right? This is something that I've come together with Kumasi. As you all know, Kumasi is an NGO, a non-profit organization, and if plan this and put this together to actually help you guys. That's the data journey series. So what's the data journey? This is like a structured, this is like a theater form of education with structured and unstructured lessons. The structured lessons are the ones where we'll provide you with a curriculum, right? A curriculum, week 1 to week 8. It will be for 2 months. So week 1 to week 8. And that's the twist, the unstructured sessions. It's a new thing they are bringing. And the unstructured sessions, these here are the things you can expect. We'll be bringing industry guest talks, office hour availability, peer circle network. This is a closed one, a closed peer circle network, and a serious guest check. Like I said earlier, when I was learning the data analyst, I suffered for like about a month, no real progress. And that time I never knew data come and everything. Till I met a senior. I talked with my seniors, my mentors, who actually gave me a correct plan, a correct guide to actually achieve this. That's why understanding the benefit that come associated with having unstructured sessions with industry experts, mentors, within and peer circles that actually provide a motivating point for you to actually learn. That's why we introduced the data journey series, right? That's what the data journey series is about. Yeah, and here's what to expect. That's where the raw magic, the structured and unstructured sections. And then in the unstructured section, you have the industry guest talks, like I said earlier. We'll be bringing professionals, right? Professionals who have been in the data field to actually come and speak to you guys about what it takes, what it takes to be the 1% professional, right? I've written a blog about this before. What it takes to be the 1% professional, right? You are doing the learning, right? You are doing the learning, you are following the script. But what does it take to become the 1% professional? It's an industry secret, and we'll be bringing industry guests, industry experts to actually talk to you on this in the data journey. Number two is the office hour availability, right? I know most of you guys here will be doing the learning on your own, like that with the DataCamp Scholarship, self-pacing and everything. But at some point, you need somebody to talk to, like somebody to guide you, somebody to actually correct you, somebody to actually speak to you, somebody to actually know your concern and actually help you solve it. And that's why you have the office hour availability. With the office hour availability, in every week, you can actually book sessions. You can actually schedule sessions in every week. And with that, you can actually have me personally and even the industry guest talks. After scheduling a session, let's say you schedule a session for let's say Tuesday, maybe 10 to 12 within the office hours. That so it will be between only 9 to 5, right? 9 to 5. So within these office hours, you can actually schedule a session with me. That's a one-to-one. The hours availability are special sessions, right? They are one-to-one sessions where you can actually talk to me directly and I'll explaining where you're in the data journey, your specific talks, your specific challenges, and we'll talk everything one-to-one and even provide you with solutions. So that's what the office hour availability is about. They are 3 9 to 5 sessions within the Monday where you can book one personal one-on-one sessions, right? And that's all in the data journey. So aside from so with the industry guest talks where you are bringing professionals, we have office hour availability as well, where you within Monday to Friday at your own convenience, you can schedule an appointment, one-to-one personal session, and we will dive into everything, right? And uncover everything for you. Another thing is the peer circle network, and this is also one genuine thing we are bringing into the data journey series, right? You have the peer circle network. The peer circle network is like will be a closed network, maximum 10. And even with the 10, we are dividing you guys into 5 5. Why are we doing so? We know that the best of learning is the one done in groups, right? The best of learning is the one done in groups. You've written a code, your friend will review it. Your friend has written a code, you review it. Your friend has made an insight, then your friend has to explain it to you. You've made an insight, explain it to your friend. The peer circle network, one that gingers you to learn. And that's why we are introducing the peer circle network, right? This will be a closed peer circle network where you can actually have the convenience to actually chat with your friends. Not just chat with your friends, so this one is like a full co-piloting in your training, right? So let's say you want to be a data analyst, right? We'll pair you with those who also data analysts in your peer circle network. And we give you guys assignments, not just assignments, but tasks as well that you should do, share the tasks. So this one write the code, this one review it, this one review the code, this one write it, this one will make a presentation, this one will judge it. The other person will judge the presentation, whilst the other one to make it. That's one thing. So you are bringing the closed peer circle network, something to actually ginger yourself. So imagine the closed peer circle network as something that will always keep you on track. Your friends stimulating you to learn more. And that's all in the data journey, right? And the final aspect is the series gesture. I've personally searched for the best of data analysts, right? Once the one that has been a freelancer before, the one that has worked as 3+ companies, the one that has experience in multiple fields, the health field, the biotech field, even the financial and the business sector, right? And this is a guy I'm bringing on board. So with a series gesture, we have a series gesture for this data journey series. And for this year, our series gesture is somebody who has like 10 years, who is a data analyst and a data scientist. He currently is pursuing a PhD and he has a master's, right? He has master's in financial analysis and financial engineering, right? So that's the person you are bringing on board. The person has experience in working as a data analyst at over 3+ companies, that's full time, and also other experiences working as a data analyst as a freelancer. And you are bringing this person on board to actually guide you and give the detailed step by step, detailed script that hey, this is what it took for me to actually land my first freelancer gig. This is the first project I built. That's my boss said, wow, I'm very, very pleased. This is how I presented this insight. That's made my manager promote me. And that's the person you are bringing on board for this as the series gesture. Somebody who has actually done it. Somebody who has actually done it. Somebody who has actually proven a point. Right? Somebody who actually has the background to actually guide you in your data journey. And that's everything you are bringing here with the data. That's everything. All the benefits in the data journey series. So you will be teaching you, right, the main thing. But the main thing will not be the teaching, the courses, the data camp. That will not be the main thing. The main thing will be the unstructured sessions, right? The personally handpicked sessions tailored for you, created for you, so that you actually never lose interest, and so that you actually become the professional, not just any professional, but the 1% professional, and that's our aim for those who enroll in the data journey series, right? The 1% professional, right? So this will because we know that most of you we are based in Ghana, right? But we know that most of you guys watching here are not from Ghana. When I went through the comment section, I saw some comments from SA, Nigeria, and everything, right? We even have some participants from US and even European countries as well. So because of that, we are doing this we are doing this virtually, right? That does not mean that you cannot visit personally, though. No, you can visit personally. So let's say if you are here in Ghana and like your office or when you like your office or availability to be in person, you can schedule this in person visit. But mainly to be virtual, right? We've made it to be convenient to you all. So we'll be hosting these virtual sessions, right? So the data journey will mainly be virtual. And also with the pricing as well. We've had because since we are an NG, right, we've actually done everything possible to actually discount the price as much as possible. And because of that, we are only charging 10 cedis for all these benefits. 10 cedis, right? That's for the early bird. So if you are able to make the registration within a week from now, you get to enjoy the early bird. The early bird ends somewhere next week Friday, right? And the early bird, you get to pay only 300 cedis. That's approximately $30. Yeah, that right, $30. That's like some 2 cups of coffee or some 2 McDonald's boxes, right? $30, just $30 for free 2 months of these sessions. So the $30 or the 300 cedis covers everything. I'm sure if you're in Nigeria, it will be around 30,000 naira, right? I don't know the rates in South Africa though, but with the 300 cedis, it covers everything for the 2 months duration that you'll be spending. That's with the structured, with both the structured and the unstructured. That's the industry guest talks, the person you are bringing on board to actually come to talk to you, the office hour availability, the connection, the personalized feedbacks, personalized projects, and the series gesture who will be handpicking, personally judging your project and your presentations. The 360 and or the $30 or the 30,000 naira covers everything with this, right? So you see, we've made everything simple and beneficial to you at a very, very low cost that you would not find in today's market, right? So because of this, we will not be taking much students because we want to make it personalized. We can't take as much as 20 students, right? With the scholarship, we gave it to our over 12,000 people. But with this, we are making it simple. We are making very short. We will only be picking about maybe 30 students maximum, right? 30 students maximum, right? And you only have 10 slots available for each course. So we'll be having three distinct groups in the cohort, and we only have 10 slots available for each group, right? 10 slots available because we want to make it actually tailored and personalized. So as you can see, there's only 10 slots available for you to fight for. So if you're in here watching this session, you can actually personally, there's a link to the registration. You can use that form to register. Or you can personally reach out to me that, oh, maybe you want to register and I'll enroll you, right? That's what this journey is about. All these benefits be given for you at a discounted price of 10 cedis or $30 equivalent, right? And this is the most affordable you can find. And this personally handpicked as somebody who has been a learner before. Now, personally handpicked for you, this for you, so that you actually become the 1% professional. That's our target, like I said earlier. The 1% professional. The 1%. Exactly. So that's all about the next step forward, right? You have to also, if you are here and you're also encountering certain challenges, okay, if you're here and you're encountering certain challenges, I also like to say that, okay, don't worry. You can also, those I told to send questions and suggestions to my email, try and do it as much as possible, right? It's much better for you to actually send those suggestions through email than in text or on WhatsApp. With email, I can actually keep track and also give you a personalized feedback. Maybe on WhatsApp, I might skip it, not intentionally, but as you all know, I'm a human being. I also make mistakes sometimes, so I might skip the WhatsApp message. So you try as much as possible to send your concerns and your greetings and your to send your concerns via email. So I would like to say thank you all for joining once again, right? I it makes me happy that you all joined this session, and I'm very much happy. I'd like to say thank you for joining this session, right? And here comes the end of our session. If you have any question before we end, I might be picking only 3 questions. So if you have any questions that you can actually let me know, right? Now try and as much as possible to address it. So is there anybody here who has some final question? Can I have your email here? Okay, sure. Here is my email. It has badi07 at gmail.com. You can send it via this email in the comment section. If you are not able to get it via this email, so you can also send it to this guy, Simeon at kumasihive.com. Right. So these are the two emails you can use for sending your request. Right. You can use this email for sending your request. Right. If you want any email, or you can use my personal email. This is my personal email, and this is your ICA is the work email. Thank you all for your time. Thank you all for joining. I'd like to say thank you all very much. In case there's any program like this, we will send it to you through your groups as well, right? So I try as much as possible to also join the groups, either the LinkedIn groups or the WhatsApp groups. I recommend the LinkedIn groups. If you're not able to join the WhatsApp group, I recommend the LinkedIn groups, right? If you also find challenges here and there, you can simply send it through my email and I'll take a look at it. Thank you all very much. Bye. Thank you all once again. Bye. We'll meet for another session, hopefully, God willing.